Today is July 29th or 28th. One of them.
Yeah, you know what, Don?
You are here with Dr. Dale and Breakfast with Champion family. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're about to go live. We are about to go live. Today's July 29th. Yes, I just checked. It's for sure. 2023, and it's about 6:28 a.m. You guys see? I just got up. Got up like an hour ago or so.
For example, it's because I'm going to replace that broken link. Okay, it's hot outside. How can I work out inside? Right? Or it's hot outside. How can I get out before it gets hot? That's what I do here often in Florida too. I'm like up at 6 a.m. going out on my bike in the morning while it's 77 degrees instead of 97, right? So looking for ways to replace the broken links in the motivation chain keeps you on track, keeps you focused on your future goals. And here's the last thing I'm going to share. We all backslide. Y'all, we all backslide. Good morning, Patty. When you backslide, don't bring the hammer down on yourself. Use the flashlight instead. Look at what made me backslide, which link of my chain was broken. How can I not do that again? It's okay. Start over. That's it. No need to bring the shame and the blame and the hammer. Just bring the observational flashlight with you. Because shame and the blame and the hammer does less for you moving forward than the flashlight. The flashlight is a tool for forward growth. Flashlight. Okay, who wants to sing? Please no singing. Neon light.
Really quickly, goodness. Monica, what I loved is you said the higher the confidence, the better. And you talked about the burning desire and how when you have that burning desire, that you're more likely to fight through stuff to reach goals. I thought that was absolutely amazing. And then I'd also say people who have gone through a lot of trainings and stuff and you're still having issues, tap into executive function challenges, tap into ADHD, autism and stuff like that, because sometimes it could be disabilities that are influencing some of these things as well.
Awesome. Thank you. That's a great point, Janelle. Great point to bring up. Oh my goodness, it's 6:30 and I don't want to be late. Who am I passing to this morning? Doctor. We're going to say it all the time. Dr. Dale, take it away.
Hello. Good morning. Breakfast with Champion. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Mary Lynn. Thank you, Breakfast with Champion family. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can.
I always like to check because, technology be playing games too much sometimes. It just be playing games way too much. Oh, my goodness, Monica.
Technology be technologin.
100%. 100%. And sometimes, we just ain't got time for it. We just don't, we at the wrong time. We just don't have time for it. We don't. So, Monica, I love the long game. Definitely take holding grace for yourself. I was saying something like that to a friend of mine yesterday, holding grace for yourself. I said the grace that you have and the patience you have for everybody else and you give to everybody else, give it to yourself. Give it to yourself and stop. The world, society is hard on us as it is. How about we go soft on ourselves a little bit because we are our worst critic, right? So I was in on your segment. Definitely agree 100%, and thank you for sharing that. I am going to implement some of those things that you said. One of those things I'm gonna do that. So welcome, you guys. Welcome to Conversations with Dr. Dale on this Saturday morning. And I want to tell you guys a story. I want to tell you, maybe some of you guys have heard it before. It's the elephant rider analogy. If you guys have, you can pop in after and you guys can share and tell me your thoughts. So it's definitely motion, emotion, logic, all of the things. So I'm just gonna jump right in. For those that don't know me, I am Dr. Dale, and what Mary Lynn was talking about earlier is that I walked the stage, Walden University, with hundreds of other doctorate degree, from psychology to doctor of business administration to doctor of all the doctors in the world that you can think of, from medicine to all the doctors, and accepted and acknowledged and proudly accepted that my doctorate in business administration with a specialization in social impact management. And I did my concept, my dissertation, my research on emotional intelligence. And that is my jam. Every now and then I like to tell the story how I kind of got it all started. And while I decided to do EI, it's because I'm in human resources, the people at the job that help you get the job, that hire you, that take care of your career, that is that bridge. Or so I say, some people may have not so good experiences with human resources people. So I'm going to say that should be helping you be that bridge for the between the employer and the employee, and educating you on all of your rights and your responsibilities as it relates to your job in the workplace. So currently I am a head of HR and in a mental health space, and love it. The people that give back to the people that really don't have hope, you just name it, from substance abuse all the way to domestic violence, all the way opioids, all of the above. And it's just really, they are the ones that provide the help, the services and the help to these people are the ones that need the help the most, right? Because they are giving and giving and giving of themselves, and a lot of times don't pour back into themselves. So definitely agree with what you were saying, Monica. That's they need each other. We need each other. And from an HR standpoint, one of my aims every day is to remind them to be graceful and to be patient with themselves and to forgive. And sometimes it can be, the burnout and all that stuff can be so real that you just forget the human side of it and look at it, like you're treating and you're taking care of a bunch of robots from a patient standpoint. But once you go out into the streets, and I called the streets the world, and you see all of those patients and those clients and see the straits that the dire straits that they are in, you're human. It tugs at your human heart. It tugs at your human heart. We just did a couple months ago, we got donation for to finish fixing the mothers, the missed and mothers, domestic violence mothers, where they live there, and we did like a whole unit for them, for the kids. So we did like a garden, so they can be able to take the kids out and roll, in the strollers and all that stuff. So we got a lot of donations for stuff like that, because we sometimes the grants from the government is not enough. So it kind of puts us, to kind of take from Peter to pay Paul. So we got donations and sponsors for those kinds of things. So it's, when I talk to my HR team, sometimes the people in the offices can be so removed from what's going on with the people that the HR, that the psychologists, the therapists, the care coordinators, the mental health, that like they are the ones in facing those clients face to face, and they're seeing and knowing what's going on. So I tasked my HR team recently to, let's take a tour down to such and such a program so you can see the people that you're pouring into, so you can remember why you are here. Because sometimes, again, we are all in the paperwork. You're so focused on, you think you're just going through the motions, and it's you removed you have removed that person that you're hiring. Let's for example, you're hiring Sally. Sally is a therapist. So you don't know, you haven't seen her. Everything has been electronic, emails. She accepted her offer letter, her salary, like everything has been electronic, but you're forgetting at the fact that Sally is a human being, and she has a heart, she has a family, right? So I decided to have them go and see the people that they are, providing all of these services to. And sometimes that's what you have to do to remind yourself that the person behind the screen is just like you. They're a human being. They have a heart. Their blood is red. They have sisters and brothers, right? Just like you do. And when we start new hires, on the day that they start, I have them go get up from your desk, go meet the person you just hired, go look at them in the face and tell them thank you for coming here, thank you for accepting our offer, and remind them that they can always come to you if anything, if they need anything or have any questions. So that is the workplace. Now that involves the connections, right? What we talk about here on BWC all the time, the connections that you're having, right? The connection, and Glenn Rudin was sharing yesterday as well on your emotions and how engaging the people, the clients, the customer, the people around you, so that they can see what it is that you're trying to show them, right? So let me run right into the story, and you guys tell me what you guys think about it after. So a psychologist by the name of Jonathan Hart, he talked about the elephant and the rider analogy, right? So the analogy suggests that everyone has two sides: a rider and an elephant. The rider, um, the rider represents the rational thinker. So there's a person, and I'm looking at, if you guys want, you can go look at the pit, go look it up. There's a person, a little man or a little woman, you can pick either one. They're on the visual. See if you can visualize this with me. On top of a huge elephant. The rider represents the rational thinker. We all have a rational side of our brain, right? The analytical planner, the evidence-based decision maker. The elephant, on the other hand, is the emotional player, full of energy, sympathy, loyalty, who stays put, backs away, rears up, has feelings, has instincts, like is all over the place, and you can never really tell what that what that elephant is doing and wants to do, right? The elephant is often on automatic pilot. It is part of the brain that tells us to go ahead and eat the ice cream. Go eat that ice cream. What Monica was talking about earlier, what all you guys were talking about. Go ahead and eat that ice cream. Forget about that workout. Come on, have the ice cream. That's the elephant. After the rider has decided to put you on a diet, the rider is the analytical thinker. He's the logical one. I'm making him a he. Sorry, you guys. The writer is the he. I'm making the elephant he or she, whatever you want to make it in your brain. And the writer has put us on a diet. But here it is, the elephant is saying, nah, we're going to go have that fried chicken, those French fries, right? And nothing is wrong with that. But if you're having it every day, that's a problem. It could be a problem real quick, right? So the psychologist Heath said, sparks come from emotion, not information. So I want to pause there just for a second. So if sparks, meaning the excitement, see when you get excited about doing something, it's new for you, and you're like, yes, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna start this new program, and this program is gonna be amazing. It's gonna make us be at this point, and I can't wait to get it started. Whatever the program is, right? That is the excitement. That's the elephant. It's like, yes, this is something new. You just got an idea. You just talked to someone. You just came out of the BWC room, and you got a real good motivation, and you feel like you want to go ahead and just do this program or this training, or just talk to this mentor or whatever it is, right? But then the writer is the information side. You need both. I don't know if some of you guys may say, no, we don't need the elephant. The elephant, we can do without it. Wait. Don't jump too far. Let's hold that thought. So, although the rider holds the reins and appears to lead the elephant, the 6-ton elephant can at any time overpower the rider, and the rider, although he may not know this, can't force the elephant to go anywhere unless he appeals to him and motivates him in some sustainable way. You guys realize that as small as we as human compare, if you ever stood in front of an elephant before, you compare to the elephant, you are the rider. The rider is on the elephant, sitting on the elephant. You may be the one with the little whip thingy so you can tell him where to, tell the elephant where to go left or right. You're the driver, right? But if the elephant don't want to go, he ain't going. He ain't going nowhere, right? Just because you have that little whip, you think that it's going to force him to go. If he really chooses not to go, he ain't going nowhere. So in order to change the elephant, we have to appeal to the feelings, the needs. What does he want? Right? And that's where he said that sparks come from emotion, not information. Right? So go with me here. Nowhere is the elephant or rider dilemma clearer than education reform. So when we come together and you realize you want to make a decision, what sparked that idea? Some people may say, well, you got information to spark it, but what happened with that information once you got it? You have to be excited to move forward in that direction. So the elephant may try out a few different trails, lumber on a few small hills, but can you buck that rider at any, he can buck that rider, he can buck him off at any point in time. He can say, nope, not gonna follow what you're going today. I don't need you. Honestly, I don't need you, because after a while, they've been together all this time, but the rider can say, I don't need you. And that's your emotion. Right? Sometimes I go so far with a lot of the decisions that I make. My husband tells me, have you thought about this? I'm like, no, I'm just so excited about it. Like, think about it in your own situation. Like, I'm so excited about it. I just can't wait. And I know it's going to be so much fun, and she's going to be there. My other friend is going to be there. So, I'll just figure it out when I get there. My husband is like, He's the logical brain. Because of him, I am developing more and more of that logical side. Who wants to jump in and share anything as it relates to this crazy story that I'm sharing today?
Hey there, Dr. Dale. That is not a crazy story, and I was waiting for you. So let me see if I get this correctly, because I'm not an elephant, even though I may feel like it sometimes. Pretty much, are you saying that we have things that we want to do in life, and when we don't feel like it, we just have to let that emotion take over because the elephant is there?
I'm thinking about goals in business right now.
Yes.
For example, if you say that you want to start a business and, you get a coach and then your coach is suggesting certain things and you're like, no, like, well, you should do a newsletter. Well, I don't know about that. You should do a podcast. Well, I don't know. You should write a book. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
You need both sides. You need to weigh both sides. I think Janelle, you want to jump in before I go further? Janelle?
No, you can go farther. That's fine. I was agreeing with what you were saying.
Okay. Don't ignore the elephant. The writer cannot just rely on a carefully charted, smartest, best path. He also must appeal to the elephant's motivations, right? And good teachers understand this, right? You can't just get your students to read Shakespeare by telling them that it's a part of, it's a part of history and whatever. You need to show them Shakespeare is about love. It's about hate. You need to appeal to them. Why would they want to do, teenagers, they're going through that emotional stage and what they want to be and becoming becoming their adult self slowly but surely. You need to appeal to, it talks about adventure and it's talking because now, oh, I want to read that book. Oh, they both ended up together. Do they both end up together? Yes, like that's your feeling. So you're excited about it now, right? So the elephant also needs a well-directed writer, one who can see clearly beyond the trees and steer through the fog, right? The bright spots, places where small changes makes a difference. So if the rider can lead an elephant to the bright spots, but the elephant don't know where those bright spots are unless the rider guides them there. So what looks like a resistance is usually just a lack of clarity. But the elephant would know that the rider would. So that's why they need each other. We need to get our riders and our elephants, we need to get our emotional side and our logical side working in tandem, right? That means finding smart, evidence-based paths to improve, the decisions that we make. But you do that with all of the information. You can't just be excited about it and then, oh, I'll figure it out when I get there, like me. You can't, you figuring it out when you get there. What if, and I found out, my husband tells me, he's like, you need to leave work on time, leave work. And I was like, I get some stuff comes up. And I keep on saying that, and stuff usually comes out around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And now, the other day I got stuck, coming out of work late because my car, your wheel broke off or whatever. And it was late and it was dark and it was night. And I hate being out late at night, dark by myself. And of course, stranded with the car broken down. Now I've learned my lesson. Do you think I'm going to be leaving work late anymore? Not I, because we're out here in, the remote areas and it can get really dark, right? And, I ain't got time to be scared about that kind of stuff, right? So now I've learned my lesson. So I got enough information, right? And I'm not so drawn into whatever it is that's going on in front of me that I forget. So that's the logical side of my husband. So now I've adopted it. Now I get it. Now I'm going to move with that information, that excitement that I have to be being at work and doing all the things because I love, because it gives me a gratification. That's excitement. That's my emotion. But the logical side of me said, leave on time. Okay. Leave on time. Now I put both of them together and I decide I'm going to plan when I'm winding down at work. Let's try to start winding down around 3 o'clock. How about that, Dr. Day? How about that? So that's what I do. I start winding down early. So that way, right when it's time to leave, I'm leaving at a decent time. Does that make any sense? Anybody want to pop in?
I want to jump in. I love this. I love it for a couple reasons. One, I love how you always put the humanity in stuff. A lot of times people remove that aspect of stuff and they're just delivering information. But you, every time I've heard, and granted, I haven't heard you that many times, but at least about 4 or 5 times, you always put the humanity. And that's a missing touch so many times. So I love that, number one. Number two, different things motivate different people. And that is key. What may motivate one person to do something may not motivate the other person to do anything. Your husband telling you to go to work on time, yada, yada, didn't do anything. But once you got stranded and it was dark, that was like, ooh, that puts the fire in you. But
Yes.
as educators, that's what it's all about. You have to meet people where they are. And I know with me in education, that's the thing. What can I do to make this relatable, make it click in a child's head?
Yes.
Someone may not care about math, but when you say, oh, you say you want to do basketball? Well, guess what? You have to be able to calculate A, B, C, D within the game. Oh, I do? Okay, Miss Perry, show me how to do it. That's what it's all about. So thank you for this. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. You are absolutely amazing. I always love hearing you share.
Oh, Janelle, thank you. I received that humbly. There are 3 different ingredients that we need to kind of get this to make sure that we're moving in that direction. We need the path shaped for clear and easy passage. So when you're deciding on what to do, how to do, look at look at the information, do the research. Do the research for you, right? Make sure that you're clear on that, right? That's the facts side of things. You know, the writer know where to go, and they can see. The writer is the logical side. They see the best path. Maybe that's the path that we're going to go down because that's the clearest one. The other one over there is filled with fog and trees. Maybe we shouldn't go down that way. Maybe the elephant emotion filled. Oh, I want the adventure. I'm going to go down this one that's foggy and all the trees are there. Maybe that's not the best path. The logical side is saying go through the clearest one, get all the information, make the decision, and then at the same time, when you're going down this path that is clear, oh, there's some twist in here, or there's some bend, or there are some trees. So that's where the excitement comes in for the emotional, the human side of you that want that adventure, right? That want that surprise and love to, to just engage in that, that adventure side of yourself. So know the writer know where to go and see the bright spots, and perhaps above all, we need the enthusiastic brain, the enthusiastic elephant, right? We need the enthusiastic elephant that is excited about life, because if you're not excited, and like to Janelle's point, if you're not motivated and excited about something, it's blah. It's a blah. It's just whatever, right? So you need both. You need the logical, gather the information, and have that excitement, that human side excitement, right? And when you bring them both together, it creates a beautiful, when I was going to the BWC in Dallas, I love the unknown. I didn't know what to expect. I hear these moderators all the time on BWC. I'm like, are they really that nice? And when I went and I meet them in person, I was like, oh, I was beyond, a surprise. And because the expectation was there, I'm like, I'm expecting them to be this and this and this. And they were beyond that. They were better than that. And I love that. They were human beings. And, because I've been in other rooms and other meetings, and I'm sure you have as well. And sometimes people are just not what they say they are. Until you meet them face to face. That's why they say, like, don't meet your dream person or your artist, because they're going to be the opposite of what you think they are, right? But they're here and Breakfast with Champion, they are who they say they are. And I just love that. So you need both. Bring it all together. You need both the logical side and you need the emotion side, right? You can't have the excitement without the emotions. Sparks come from emotion, not information. Sparks come from emotion, not information. So, uh, for those that, if you are interested in learning about emotional intelligence and being that best version of yourself and kind of learning how it can coincide and kind of bring it all home and grow you, right? I always talk on my coaching groups, like it's all about you becoming that best version of yourself. You can visit my website, Dale Reports.
Hey, Dr. Doug, can you repeat what you just said? Because your voice went so high that some of us may have been confused. If we're interested in what?
If you're interested in emotional intelligence, interested in becoming that best version of yourself with emotional intelligence, it can help you in life, not only professionally but also personally. And I say all the time, you can capitalize and focus on all of the professional, but it's just like pouring water into a bucket with holes. It's going in, but what's coming out on the other end, it's not going anywhere, right? You need to develop yourself personally. You need to grow you. Remember, of all the knowledge you will ever attain in life, in this lifetime, is knowing yourself. The greatest achievement you will ever have is achieving the knowledge of all things you, right?
Dr. Dale, I'm sorry I have to jump in really quick.
Yes.
Just for you all listening, I'm not saying I tested Dr. Dale, but when she started her group, I thought about my mother, because my mother's 71 and she's extremely emotional, like always at 1,000. And I was like, Dale, I don't know if we should put her in your group because, and she's like, I can handle it. And honestly, I didn't think she could because my mother is like next level. And my daughter, in May, she started with Dale. And in May, it was not a good, emotionally wonderful trip for us as a family. And my daughter called me last week and she's like, what's going on with grandma? She's amazing. Tell that Dr. Dale, what has she done? And even like this weekend, my mother got stuck at the airport in Newark. She's in North Carolina now, and she's just smiling. So Dr. Dale is the truth when it comes to teaching an old dog new tricks. No, I'm joking.
Tina!
Emotional intelligence.
Oh, Marilyn, I'm going to pass the mic. Thank you, Tina.
Awesome. Great segment. Next, we have the amazing Christina Howard bringing you an amazing interview. Christina, take it away.
Thank you, Marilyn and Dr. Dale. Thank you so much for that incredible segment. As always, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Breakfast with Champions, the Millionaire Breakfast Club house. You guys know I'm going to do a quick reset, and we're going to jump into it. You guys, if you are in this room and you have not joined the house yet,